And you got a point, but that was a heck of a scrap, wasn't it?
Tough game against a very direct team, a lot of physicality in their team, and first and foremost you have to match that. So from a defensive aspect, I thought we did well, really, to limit them to sort of minimal half chances. But we had the clear moments, and probably that is the frustration, that you battle as hard as what we did, defensively as good as what we did, and then when their moments come along, which are pivotal moments, we wasn't able to capitalise on them. So certainly can't. If I'm looking at the effort that the team gave us, you can't say it wasn't through lack of effort. But yeah, a little bit frustrating.
It is that kind of day, isn't it, where everything has to be right, your touch has to be right. It's so tight out there in the midfield areas and all over the pitch, really, that you've got to be absolutely spot on for 90 minutes.
Yeah, well, that's the type of game that they play, and particularly with the conditions and the wind, and they had a fairly sort of strong wind behind them in that second half, which meant that everything that went long from them went further. And I think you've got to give us credit. I think we had to defend well. I think the two in the middle of the park had to pick up a lot of second balls, because what they have got is they've got some quality that can strike from distance, and you've got to be consistent enough in your defending to be able to cope with that.
You mentioned to us on Thursday that you hoped that if you did get the chances today, you'd take them, unlike at Oakwell where you were punished for it. Well, at least you weren't punished for it today, but those chances in the first half, you've just mentioned it, you could have won the game, couldn't you?
And they were clear chances. I think in any game there are going to be a percentage of chances, and you just hope that they're clear ones. And I thought that we also got the ball into some good areas that we could have capitalised a little bit more. But you're waiting for them clear chances, and you either put them away or you don't. I mean, what I will give the team credit for is that they were both in a first half period, and the heads could have dropped, and they didn't. You couldn't afford to do that, not against a team as I say direct and physical as what they are, because they're just waiting for that moment of lack of concentration, and thankfully we managed to keep that for 90 minutes. But of course, I say the frustration of not putting them chances away.
Involved in the creation of those chances, of course, Filip Krivinovic, who you gave a debut to today, and he showed some touches gave us some ideas as to why you've brought him in. He's got that creativity, hasn't he?
He has, and I thought he did well in what was a difficult game. The position that he plays, and generally anything that bounced or went into that midfield area, there was a lot of bodies, and they pressed really well. So it wasn't the ideal type of game for him, but still he was involved in the chances that we had, and even putting Anthony through, which ended up not being a clear chance, but putting Anthony through in that first half period. So pleased with his contribution, and looking forward to more from him.
Of course, that brings us on to January. There's a lot of talk earlier today, Chris, that you're on the verge of signing James Garner, the midfielder from Manchester United, who's been at Watford. Can you tell us anything about that?
No, I mean, the only thing I can tell you is that we're very hopeful to bring one or two in before this deadline, and we're working very hard towards that. It's probably not right to speak about what at this moment is still speculation, and probably we prefer to talk about anything when something is confirmed. But say we are working very hard towards it, and we're hoping that's going to happen.
Just ask about a player who is yours, who's Scott McKenna, not involved today, wasn't involved last week either. Has he picked up an injury?
Yeah, which was a blow, because Scott's obviously back, and went over in his ankle in training yesterday. At the moment, it's fairly sore, I must admit. So I think we'll see over the next sort of few days and how that settles down. But I would think he would still be very doubtful for midweek.